Hey everybody, welcome to part 6 of this video tutorial series on parking spots in Taxi Tuner. This video, I'm going to show you the reasons we would use different satellite views for different airport projects. And to start with, I'm going to pull up O'Hare. By default, Taxi Tuner version 4 uses Google Maps imagery. It's very good. It's usually very good. Now, for example, at O'Hare here, the satellite imagery at O'Hare in Taxi Tuner version 4 is kind of old. It's like all of this is closed now. It's under construction. They're building a new concourse here. A lot of the taxiways you can see don't match up. So what we do in this instance is we can use different satellite imagery. Now you can't do that yet in Taxi Tuner version 4, it just says Google, but as a reference I use different sources. So we can go to, if you just go to Google Maps itself on the web and scroll in, you'll see, basically you'll see what O'Hare has. Here, let me go to like 3D view. Okay, so you'll see this. You can see a 3D view. Might be able to zoom you in a little bit more than what Taxi Tuner can do. But it's still the same imagery. Now if we go to Apple Maps is much more recent. You can see what they've done here. They have these extremely long jetways and these gates out here. So this is much more recent than Google. And I would use these as a guide because these will probably match the Navigraph charts more. I would use these as a guide for creating your nodes and your parking spots. Now it doesn't have to be exact. You don't have to do that. If you don't have any reference, if all three satellite imagery sites are out of date, then don't worry about it. Just tune what you have in Taxi Tuner to the best of your ability. No one's really going to care if a gate or two is out of date, because it's hard. Nothing is in date with these satellite images. They're all out of date immediately after they take it. So try to get it to match the Navigraph chart as best as possible. If you can't, it's not a big deal, but you may use different satellite sources for reference. They may help. And another one I have is Bing, and let's see what Bing looks like. So Bing is also old. Theirs is just as old, it looks like, as Google Maps. They don't have those extra long jetways. So there's a little bit old. So yeah, each of the three in different parts of the world, Bing may be better, Apple may be better, or Google may be better. It's just, look at all three. See what they do. And then since each one is a different image as well, you might be able to get different gate info. This is another tool I use for just determining on who parks where. It's sort of like the FlightAware, but this one is just a static image in time, and it's not as easy to tell. But you can zoom in and you can see. So at these gates, you got like the American Eagle 175s, and these are relatively, like, if you look at the width of these compared to, say, these, you can tell that these are a gate small and these would be a gate medium. So I would set all of these to gate small, and I would assign them all to Envoy or Republic, which are the regional carriers that American uses at O'Hare with the Embraer 175s. And then you can see here, Spirit. You could just set this one to Spirit and KS, and you could you also get a sense that just like at Charlotte, American Mainline pretty much uses this entire concourse. You don't really see any Embraer 175s or anything here. So I said all these do gate medium, American, and then I would go through individually and I'd look for heavy gates or large gates. So for example, this one looks pretty darn large. It's a lot wider than it's a lot wider than this one, which would be a medium. So I would set Kilo 5 here to a gate large. Kilo 9 I would also set to a gate large because it's clearly a lot bigger than the 737. I would set Kilo 13. Okay, this one's interesting because you got two lead-in lines together. Now, from the looks of it here, Kilo 13 X-ray would be the large, and Kilo 13 would be medium. And the 73 is at the medium one, so that pretty dead giveaway. And that's just because if there's a large, well, it's just done for spacing on either side. So if you have like a really big, like if the Japan Airlines 777 300ER were to like park here, you're going to want space from it. So the mediums will park here in Kilo 13, and then the wide bodies will park here in Kilo 13 X-ray. And that also just keeps the spacing good for, to the left and right of the aircraft. So in this one, I would make this large, I'd make this medium. Kilo 15, this is clearly a large. This one, Kilo 19er X-ray would be the large, and then Kilo 19er would be the medium again. So I just go through and do that. Satellite images are very, very good at determining this sort of thing. And you can go between Google, you can go between here, Apple Maps, doesn't really matter. Google, at least at O'Hare here, seems to be the clearest. And each one, since it's a different image, will have different aircraft. So here we know Spirit maybe parks here now too. You can see all the regionals. So this would be like all of American regional. So like Air Wisconsin at the time this was taken as Air Wisconsin. And Envoy. And then Alaska, you can see they park here. So I'd set the majority of these to gate smalls, and then I would leave these two as a gate medium, since Alaska parks there. And I know this one's jet blue too. You can't see it here, but in real life this is jet blue. So I would make this a medium, since they bring in the A320 and the Embraer 190. Remember, the Embraer 190 is a medium. So yeah, it just that's the different use cases for different satellite images, different sources. They're pretty helpful, and again, it just gives you a general overview idea of who parks where. It can tell you, what gates are where. Which gates are large, which gates are medium, which gates are small. It's very helpful for that. Yeah, just another tool in the toolbox you can use. Hope you've enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.